Reach Around Books presents Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. Brenda has a beaver, and she's ready to confess. As soft and sweet as it may be, her beaver is a mess. Brenda's beaver's big. Brenda's beaver's hairy. Every guy who's seen it says that Brenda's beaver's scary. Brenda took her beaver for a swim down at the lake. By the looks that she received, she figured that was a mistake. She stuffed that furry mound into a swimming suit. It stuck out all around. It was anything but cute. Some who saw it laughed. Others were just stunned. Brenda's beaver was hanging out, soaking up the sun. Her friends could not believe her. They said, "We need to talk." They covered up her beaver and they took her for a walk. "Brenda dear, listen here. We want to help you out. Your beaver needs a makeover. It really needs it now." "I hope we don't seem pushy," said her biker friend named Kim. "Your beaver is too bushy. We just think it needs a trim." Savannah pulled her beaver back to show off what she'd done. Hers had a nice long landing patch. It looks like it'd be fun. Chrissy's beaver is quite rare. It could be worth $1 million. Hers is bare. It has no hair. Her beaver is Brazilian. Catherine let her beaver loose. She said there's nothing to it. Grab some clippers and a can of mousse. We'll show you how to do it. Kim produced some scissors and Chrissy had some wax. Now all that Brenda had to do was sit back and relax. As they came towards her beaver, they said, "Now don't be scared. We're going to see what's underneath that frumpy pile of hair." It ended in just minutes. They didn't leave her much. When Brenda's friends were finished, she and her beaver blushed. Her beaver was so tiny, they could not believe their eyes. It was smooth and it was shiny. It was hard to recognize. Now Brenda is so proud. It seems like every time we see her, she's in the center of a crowd, just showing off her beaver.
add those pounds. Coke's a natural, wholesome blending of pure food flavors. I guess that's why everyone likes the refreshing new feeling you get, only from not-too-sweet Coca-Cola. And no wonder. Lively, lifty Coca-Cola provides a welcome bit of quick energy between meals. Makes for a pleasant pause in a busy day. Oh, and remember, Coke is low in calories, too. Say, now, don't you get any thinner.
You know, a lot of people believe that what we see at the cinema is just a load of fanciful imaginings. But I'll have you know, Middle-earth is closer than you think.
Yeah, so if you just strap on the rucksack, then we can get going. What's that? You're an optimistic dog, but you have your limits, all right. And you, any chance of any help at all? You don't do manual labour. Fine, I'll do it. Let's just make a start. Yeah, well done, you're flying. That collar heavy, is it? What do you mean, where are we sleeping? This is where we're sleeping, the tent. Look, come here. Look, it's going to be fun. Here we go, it's cosy. Come on, have a look. No, there isn't a sofa. Right, let's get the fire on. Leave it. Here we go. Well, at least you're good at fetching the firewood. Yeah, go and get another bit. It's a big day tomorrow, you've got to pace yourself. Yeah, good, steady pace. Come on, then. There we are. You know, these are some of the oldest mountains in the world, shaped and scoured over millions and millions of years. It just makes you think about it, doesn't it? What? It makes you think about sausages. Can you not just enjoy this? Take it all in. Have I got the sausages? Yes, I've got them. Does all this not make you marvel and think about the great questions of life? Good, what's your question? Yes, I've got the chicken bits as well. There we are, nearly done. What a day. Eh? You think you left the car keys up there? I really don't think you did. You want to go back up? Right, well, let's get back to the tents and see how you feel. Yeah, I thought so. That was a good walk, and you're both very...
I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry. Some recent notes have resurfaced that I passed in 3rd grade, and things that were said on there at the time were very funny, hilarious, and the class loved it and enjoyed it. But as the world, society grows, learns, and evolves, so do I learn, evolve, and grow. And I'm not that person that I was in 3rd grade. I'm a different person now, and I'd just like to apologize.
Kind of worried about her health condition, lack of food and water.
Since late November of last year, Utah County Sheriff's Office and search and rescue volunteers have been looking for a woman who seemingly disappeared and left her belongings behind.
All we had was her car down here in this parking lot, some of her personal items in that car, and then a campsite up here, all of which appeared to have been unused for an extended period of time, and no evidence that she was still here.
Weeks went by.
We had deputies who came back up here. We had search and rescue come up here. We had our fixed-wing pilot from the sheriff's office come up and do some searching from the air.
The search continued in the winter. No sign of the 47-year-old woman. Until an unexpected discovery this past weekend. A sheriff's sergeant and drone pilot came out to search again.
They set the drone up, and apparently on one of its first passes, the drone crashed. So they went up looking for the drone that had crashed, and in doing that, they came across another small campsite where there was a tent, and as they're looking at this, the zipper of the tent unzipped, and this woman who we had identified the previous year in November and December last year sticks her head out.
More than 5 months and an entire winter had gone by. They came across the woman in a tent, alive.
And I have to be honest, we fully expected that we wouldn't find anybody related to that alive up here, given how long it had been. In situations like that, we often find somebody after they passed away.
Many will wonder, how was this woman able to stay alive throughout the winter months? She had a stream nearby for drinking water.
She did have a small amount of food that she had stretched out over time. She also lived off the land, so to speak.
She sustained herself by eating grass and moss. When she was found Sunday afternoon, the woman was in rough shape.
For most of us to think of somebody spending the winter in an area like this, camping, literally camping in a tent with a sleeping bag all winter long, is beyond what almost anybody would consider, but for her it worked.
In Utah County, Brian Schnee, Fox 13 News, Utah.
That woman was taken to Utah Valley Hospital to be evaluated. Her identity has not been released tonight. The sheriff's office thinks there are some mental health challenges involved in this case. If you or someone you know is experiencing any mental or emotional challenges, there are resources available. They can be found on our website, fox13now.com.
Hey, Newmarket. In a hot spring market, homes sell themselves, right? Well, that's not the case if you want top dollar. To sell your home faster and for more, you need a team of experts with a proven system. Want to know how much more? Click the link below to find out what your home could sell for in today's market.
Douchebag, he's the douchebag of the year. Now, ain't he great, folks? Ain't he grand? The douchebag of the year. Douchebag, Mr. Douchebag of the year. Look at him smile, look at him shine. He's the douchebag of the year.
A Treasure Coast woman is caught on camera feeding an alligator.
News Channel 5's Brian Etten live in Port St. Lucie with the warning. Brian?
FWC is looking into all of this right now. Neighbors say this gator has been removed after it went after a woman and her steak 3 times. They say a different neighbor started feeding this gator, actually coming to the lake's edge, slapping her feet in the grass, and nicknaming the gator Puppy Puppy. She feeds the gator, and then she yells at it for getting too close.
She'd bring food back and forth and feed him, and he'd hang out there all day.
Lynette Miller says she saw this happen over and over again in her Port St. Lucie senior living complex, each time the woman just inches away from death. Lynette took this video about a year ago.
His nickname was Here Puppy Puppy. So you just yell at him and he would come.
Puppy, 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 but I thought she was calling her husband until she says no, she's calling the alligator.
Neighbors say the woman had a routine. She would feed the gator cereal coming down to the lake and tossing it in for him.
She talked to him all day in her low voice sometimes. But if he got aggressive, then she'd yell at him. She almost like had him trained.
But FWC investigators say what's happening in this video is very dangerous.
It was quite alarming to see this woman just sitting by the water with this alligator just feet, in some cases inches from her.
She would go in her water like this, like she would be calling it.
Crews removed the gator because it started approaching other people looking for food.
Nobody called the authorities until he came up to their patio and wanted a steak.
But the problem could be starting over again. Neighbors say different people have started feeding new gators.
I'm from New York. We don't feed alligators. We see them in the zoo.
Since all of this happened, neighbors say the woman that you saw there in that video has moved out of this senior living complex and no one knows where she went. FWC right now says not only is it dangerous to feed gators like that, but it's also against the law.
Douchebag, he's the douchebag of the year. Now ain't he great, folks? Ain't he grand? The douchebag of the year. Douchebag, Mr. Douchebag of the year. Look at him smile, look at him shine. He's the douchebag of the year.
If you had kids, how would you raise them differently than you were raised?
I wouldn't let them play in the shrubs.
I just want to know what your favorite color is.
I don't like color.
What kind of car do you drive?
I just take the bus.
Okay, look, have you ever had sex in the backseat of a car?
No.
You're a big Pinto fan yourself, right?
I like Pintos.
What's the sexiest car on the road today to you?
Probably one of those Astro vans.
Astro vans are hot.
Yeah, like powder blue.
One last question, Beck. Are you old school or new school?
I'm sort of like middle school, like 5th grade.
Do you have any back in the day rhymes you could maybe give us?
I ate my rake, I shake and bake. Time to quake. This was a big mistake.
I think you're right.
Douchebag, he's the douchebag of the year. Now ain't he great, folks? Ain't he grand? The douchebag of the year. Douchebag, Mr. Douchebag of the year. Look at him smile, look at him shine. He's the douchebag of the year.
This has been a Dog on the Couch production.
This is a Cat in a Box production, 2021.